Welcome back, student. This is the second video of this week, and in this video we are going to discuss the long answer question of chapter 3. Okay, we are going to discuss exercise E of chapter safety and first aid, and we have to discuss 7 question answer. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's start our video. Our first question is asking about the steps that we have to follow when the gas is leaking. Okay, I have already explained, if the gas is leaking, then it can be very dangerous if we are not very careful about the uses of the gas cylinder. Okay, sometime what happen if we are having the damaged cylinder or any causes can be there. Okay, if we are not using the gas and we have on the stove, then the gas can be leaked. So in that situation, what we can do, what step we have to take? First of all, we have to open all the windows and the doors so that whatever gas has been trapped into the house or into the room, that can be escaped. Okay, second step we have to take is we have to off the regulator. Regulator is always attached on the top of the cylinder, and if we off the regulator, then the supply of the LPG gas will stop. Okay, and it will not allow any more LPG gas leaking. Third step, we don't have to use any of the thing that can catch the fire, like lighter, matchstick, or we don't have to touch any of the switches, because a single spark can catch the fire. Next, we have to contact to the gas agency. Why? Because our gas cylinder is not good. Okay, so we cannot use further, so that that bad gas or the leaking gas cylinder could be replaced with the good one, and that's why this is the last step we have to take. So we have to follow all these steps if we found the gas is leaking from the cylinder. Second question is asking, what precautions should we take to avoid accident at the school? Before explaining these type of answer, I want to say that if you want to add any of the point your own, you can definitely add. Suppose whatever point I have discussed, that I am thinking that is important. If you wanted to add some extra point, or if you wanted to write your own point related to the same topic or same precaution, you can definitely add, but that must be correct. Okay, so here I have discussed some of the point is, do not climb on the do not climb on the desk or chair, because if you are climbing over the desk and chair, you can fall and you can have the bad injury on the head or any of the body part. Second, we do not throw things at each other, because whatever you are using in the school, that can be sharp or that can be pointed. Compass is very pointed, pencil is very pointed, pen is very pointed. Sometimes we are using scissors, okay, or the sharpener, so that can be sharp and it can cause the injury. Okay, so that's why do not throw any of the pointed or sharp object on anyone, because that can go into our ear, that can go into our eyes also, and it can damage our body parts. Third is, do not run up or down the stairs, because if you will fall, you can get injured, you can have fracture, you can have bad injury. Okay, next is, do not play in the classroom. Why? Because all the time downside we are keeping the bag, tables are there, and many belongings or many extra things are there in the classroom. Okay, table, chair, board, duster, okay, shelf, books, many objects can be there, and if you trip over them, then you can fall and you can get injured. Next is, be careful while handling the sharp or the pointed object. I have already explained, whenever you are using any sharp or pointed object, be careful about that, otherwise you can hurt yourself. Our next question is, sorry, due to the camera, the question is not clear, but the question is asking about the safety rule. Okay, when we are crossing the road, what safety rule we have to take when we are crossing the road. First of all, follow all the traffic rule. What it means, if there is a signal, there is a green pedestrian signal or the red signal, okay, I have already differentiate between these. Okay, traffic signal, that is the circle one, is for the vehicle. When it is red, that means vehicles has stopped and you can cross the road. But if the pedestrian signal is green, that means you can also cross the road also. Okay, so these are the two traffic signal that you have to follow when you have to cross the road. Second thing is asking, use the zebra crossing whenever you are crossing the road. Okay, but if you are not having the zebra crossing, instead of that you can take the overbridge also. Okay, the overbridge is also the solution of the problem. If you don't want to face any type of the traffic, then you can use the overbridge or the subway, okay, to cross the road. So the answer is a saying about the rule that we have to take while crossing the road. And we also have to see left, right, and then left before crossing the road. So these are the points that we have to keep in our mind while crossing the road. Next question is asking, my dear, question number 4 is asking only about the first aid, and I have already explained in the definition. Okay, so I am not going to explain that again. Okay, so that's why I have skipped the question number 4 and I am going to continue with the question number 5. Question number 5 is, how will you help a person who has burned his hand? Okay, you all are knowing sometime using the matchstick, or when we are eating, we are by mistake we have touched the hot utensils in the kitchen, we can have burn on our finger, on any body part. Which type of first aid we have to take that time, that we are going to discuss. First of all, put your hand or the burnt area under the running water, cold running water, and after that you can apply the ice over them so that you can feel relief. Okay, and then after we have to apply the antiseptic lotion, which is in the first aid box, and that the different type of antiseptic cream is available for the burnt, okay, that we have to use, okay, when we are having burn in our body part. Okay, so answer is saying, wash the burnt area with cold running water and apply an ice pack on the burnt area, then apply an antiseptic cream on the affected area. This will provide you the first aid, and after that we have to move to the doctor, okay, for the further checkup. Question number 6 is saying, how will you help a person who has fainted? First of all, we have to keep in our mind, whenever anyone has fainted, keep their head lower as compared to the other body part. Why? So that the supply of the blood will not stop. The supply of the blood to the brain will not stop, because whenever we are fainting, okay, it is very important, the supply of blood should not be stopped, because it can turn into the worst condition. So keep this in your mind. And then after, don't crowd around the fainted person. Generally when anyone faint, okay, we may crowd around that fainted person, and what happened with that, the enough oxygen or enough air could not reach to the fainted person, and it can create the more problem. That's why first of all, make sure that the supply of the air could be reached to that fainted person. And lastly, we have to sprinkle some of the cold water on the forehead, so that as soon as possible he could wake up. Let's see the answer. First of all, we should keep his head at a lower level than the body, okay, like this. Okay, how she is doing in this picture, we have to do like that. We can keep the cushion or something so that her head will be lower as compared to the body. Second, we will allow the fresh air around the fainted person, and after that sprinkle the cold water on his forehead. Our last question is saying, how will you help a person who has been bitten by an insect? Any type of insect, like okay, honeybee or mosquito or leeches or bug, different type of bug can bite us. Okay, in that situation, what we have to take the first step. First of all, you have to apply the baking soda or the cream on the affected area, because after applying the cream we feel soothy and it can give the instant relief with that. Okay, second, we have to rub the eyes. Why? Because rubbing the eyes can reduce the swallowing. Whenever any of the insect bite us, that bitten area always swell, and to reduce that swell we have to apply the ice on that affected area. And lastly, we must apply the calamine lotion to reduce itching. My dear, calamine lotion is the special type of lotion which is always used in the insect bite. Okay, whenever we are having itching problem or insect biting problem, then we must have to apply calamine lotion. It contains some of the chemical which is required only in this condition. Okay, so follow this step. And one more time I want to remind you, whenever you want to add some extra point or you want to write your own point, you can definitely write. It's not necessary that the same answer you will write that I am giving to you. You can use your own language also. Okay, that will be always best. Thank you for watching.